Hello everyone, today I will show you how to make this beautiful neck warmer. I made it with circular knitting machine Addi 46 needles. You can make it with Sentro as well, 48 needles. For this project you need a circular knitting machine, Addi or Sentro or what knitting machine you have. You need yarn. I use medium 4, this is in black, and you need some fur yarn. This is for 4, it's bulky 6, and you need crochet hook corresponding number and stitch markers. So for this neck warmer I need a swatch, and I counted the row gauge and I have 19 rounds for 4 inches, and because I want my neck warmer to be approximately 25 inches long, so I calculated with the formula how many rounds I need to make. So for this one I will need 118 rounds to be approximately 25 inches long, so in circumference it will be 25, and this is almost, it's 12, so it's 24. I mean, if I will stretch it, it will be longer, but I don't want to stretch it, so. And this one has 118 rounds. Start with waste yarn in front of the first needle, then back, front, back, all the way around, and knit 3 rounds with this color. For the beginning you don't need many rounds because the work will not unravel. When you have 3 rounds, change the color, the same waste yarn, but just one round, a different color. So you change the yarn in the same place, the new and the old, and knit just one round with this color. Now take your main color, in this case it's black, leave a short tail in front of the first needle, and where the waste yarn, you finish with the waste yarn and you start with the main color. Make sure that the loop is down all the time. Reset the counter to 0 and knit 118 rounds. Go slowly for the first round so the yarn stays down, and after that it's more easier to knit. Make sure the yarn is down. So 118. For this neck warmer I will keep hand tension medium tension. After 10 rounds I like to place weights, so in this case I don't have so many drop stitches, and then I will knit with this, and then I will change them all the time. If you want, and if you have, you can use the attachment. And I have a screwdriver which is not so strong, and I can knit faster with this one, but make sure that you don't have any dropped stitches. When the tube is getting long, I move the weights up, and in the same time I check to see if I have any drop stitches, and later I can even roll the tube like this so it doesn't touch the table. So I have 118 rounds, and now I have to cast off with waste yarn, but you need a long tail that it's 2 times your circular knitting machine. So I place this one in the middle, I release the yarn, and now I need waste yarn, again 2 different colors. Make sure that you place the yarn in the same place before the first needle, and knit 1 round with 1 color. Change to a different color, waste yarn the same like before. Both yarns have to be in the same place, and knit with this color 5 rounds or 8 rounds. So I have 5 rounds, and now I'm just releasing the yarn. Sorry for the noise. I'm just knitting without any yarn. Next step is to seam the ends together. Please check your work to make sure that everything is alright. This part is the cast on, and this one is the cast off with a long tail. So place the ends together, the tails together. But I like to use stitch markers, and I'm gonna show you closer. I like to place stitch markers to know which loop I have to work in. So here where the tail is, this is one loop. I'll place a stitch marker, and on the other side I will place the stitch in 2 loops. The one with the tail coming down and go up in the next one. I don't know why are they so close here, what happened? In the next one. To work the invisible stitch, the rule that is you have to work from one side to the other side and work in 2 loops. But first time I'm working just in 1 loop. So this is the tail, and I go first to the left in this one. And all the time after this step I will have to work in 2 loops. So I have to go on the other side. When I go on the other side, I start with the second loop from the stitch that is in the stitch marker, down and up. If you notice, the needle is parallel with the waste yarn. So this is the rule that I'm thinking when I do this invisible stitch. I follow the waste yarn. So I'm coming to the other side and I have to work in the stitch that I worked before and in the next one. So this is the stitch that I worked before and then in the next one. So I follow the waste yarn. This is the waste yarn. The pink one is the waste. Down and up. I go to the other side and again I go in the stitch that I worked last time, is this one, and I have to go to the next one, so I follow the waste yarn. If you don't know which stitch is the one that you have to work, you can see the yarn is here and just follow the waste yarn. If you don't know should I do like this or the other way, just make sure that the needle follows the waste yarn and then it's easy to remember. And try to keep a constant tension so it will be nice at the end. So do this way all the way around, from one side to the other side. I am almost at the end. So all the time follow the waste yarn. And how do you know you worked in all the stitches? Is if you finish this way. I'm gonna show you. So next one is here. I'm going in this one in the first loop where the stitch marker is, to the other side and where the stitch marker is. Last stitch worked on this side has to be in these 2 loops that are in the stitch marker. If you didn't finish this way, that means you didn't work in all the loops. If you finish like this, then it's good. And then you have to come back and work just once here. Because if you remember when we started, we worked in just 1 loop, and now again we finish just 1 loop. And come in this loop where the stitch marker is. And now this is finished. Remove the stitch markers. And now this waste yarn that is just 1 row, the pink one, if you pull the yarn out, then you can just unravel this one and take it off. So like this and go around, and you do the same with the blue one. and then I just release this one, the red one, you can cut them or just no go around all the time if you want to reuse the waste yarn. So I have removed the waste yarn, and now I should have just one piece. And I have to hide these two ends, but I will have to make a knot. This is the way that I do this. Make sure that you don't work in both sides, just in one side. Come under. Okay, and the other one. Make sure that everything is all right. So choose one stitch and make a knot and bring it under and pull the stitch so it goes inside. So this is just a simple neck warmer, and now we will attach the other yarn. Before I go to the next step, I just want to show that it's 12 inches, so it will be 24. I want it to be 25, but it's 24, and doesn't matter. It depends if you stretch it this way, it will be smaller, or if you stretch it this way, it will be longer, but I want it to be like this. So the circumference will be 24 inches, and it's almost 7 inches wide. This is the yarn that I will be using next. This is super bulky 6, and I need a crochet hook 8 millimeters. So I will be using this one. So now you have to choose one column, and we'll be working in 2 loops like this. So choose one column. I'll place a stitch marker for reference. And I will be working in 2 loops in this V's. And I will work in one, skip 2, and work in the third one. Skip 2, work in the third. So doesn't matter where you start, just be consistent and work in the same column. So place the hook under both stitches. This is the tail. Leave a short tail because we'll have to make a knot. Bring the yarn under, pull, make sure that you have that it's loose, and then chain one like this. So what I did, I placed the hook under 2 loops and bring the yarn under. I have 1 loop. This is how I hold the yarn over and bring under the loop. So now I worked in this one. I will skip 2, 1, 2, and I go in the third one. So if I'm going here, you see I pick up 2 V's. If I hold this way, I see a space. So again, I'm here, yarn over, bring it under these 2 loops. Now I have here 2 loops. Make sure that it's loose, yarn over, and bring it under both of them. And you have just 1 loop. Again, skip 1, 2, and work in the third one. So I'm placing the hook here. I take the yarn, bring it under. I have 2 loops. I take the yarn, bring it under both of them. I'm not working in each stitch because this yarn is different than this one. If you have a yarn that it's bulky 5 or medium 4, then probably you can work in each stitch and do half double crochet. This is just single crochet because this is a bulky yarn. So that's why I'm skipping 2 stitches, 1, 2, and work in the third one. Remember 2 loops, the yarn over, 1 loop. Move to the next, skip 2 in the third one. Just make sure that you work in the same column, so when you come back, you finished here. One, 2, 3. I think I worked too much. Make sure that the loops are loose. Again, in the third one. So do like this all the way around. So I'm almost at the end. 1, 2, go in the next one. Looks like I'm off with 1 loop, but it's not a big deal. I should have been in this one. Again, skip 2, go in the next one. And then, so this is my beginning. I want to work, even if I should have a work in the third one, I'm working in this. Bring up a loop, just make it look nice. And then, so this I finished. If you want to do 1 more row of single crochet or double crochet, if you want your fur to be taller, then you can do that, but I am not going to do. So I'm stopping here. So I have this end and I'll have this one. This is one loop. I bring the yarn again under. I cut the yarn. Pull this one. Oops. This is secure, and I will secure this one with this one, and I will just make a knot. Double knot. Make sure that stays together, and after that I think I'm gonna do one more knot. Oops. Or you can bring it under. And then I will cut it later to make sure that it's secured. Where is the other one? The other one is here. Just bring it here. So one side is finished. Do the same on this side. So turn your work. You don't have to count the stitches to make sure, because this is flat, so just turning like this and pick one row or column and work in this one. So we will do the same in this side. Skip 2, work in the next one. Skip 2, work in the next. One, two, and here. One, two, here. So do like this all the way around. So finish the same way like the other one. Chain 1. Make a knot, double knot, and hide in the ends. So this is the neck warmer. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.